It's currently like 3 and I was just doing my skincare, so if I look oily, don't even say anything. Do I need to explain this? Personally, I have no beef with Colleen Hoover, okay? I don't even know her like that. But I have a lot to say about these books. Mainly these 3. I kind of like this book, so I can't even say anything. First, we're gonna start with November 9th. What the fuck? The story starts off with a girl, Fallon. And she got in this terrible accident on November 9th where she had like these horrible burn scars or whatever. And then she meets this guy named Ben, and then he like pretends to be her fake boyfriend for her dad, and she hates her dad. And then Fallon, the day her and Ben meet is the day she's leaving, which is November 9th. And then they make some weird ass fucking like deal where they're gonna meet up every year on November 9th. I like the concept of it, honestly, like I like it. Nothing could have prepared me for that twist. Nothing. Like, I saw spoilers on TikTok, but I didn't really like analyze the fucking TikTok. I wasn't like, I wonder what this means. I was not prepared for this. My least favorite November 9th, probably the one where we found out where he was fucking the baby mama of his nephew or niece, whatever I forgot. Cause what do you mean our nightstand? You sleep with that bitch? Odd. You're actually so odd. Also, are we just not gonna talk about the fact that she literally got in like the first edition of the book, but then they cut it out, I guess, because she was getting called out for it. Babe, what did you expect? The big plot twist that gets us is the reason why Fallon has her burn scars is Ben fucking burned her dad's house down because he was a little angry. He was a little mad. These fucking men, bro, they get away from it. Like, how do you... He got away with it. And she forgave him. What do you mean she forgave him? Like, all that shit happened and then they just rekindle? How the I know for a fact, whenever Ben and Fallon gets into an argument, she pulls that card. Okay, but why are you mad at me, though? Look what you did to me. Gagged. No words. She won the argument. Because how can you... They're either gonna divorce, cheat on each other, which Ben low-key already did, or just kill each other. Which Ben almost already did, so. Now we have it ends with us, and it starts with us. First of all, this book was not needed. It was cute and shit. It was not needed. Let's go back to the first book. So we started with this girl named Lily. Her dad just died. Right? And she does this fucking speech at the funeral, and yeah. And she meets this guy, Ryle, on a fucking rooftop. And then they have, like, this weird, like, intimate thing where he's, like, initiating a one-night stand, and she's just, like, ugh. But then, like, they low-key get freaky, but then his, like, phone rings, because he's, like, a doctor or whatever. He's like, bro, I gotta go. And then she's like, oh, okay. And they just never see each other again until one day. This part is so ironic to me, and it's so... Lily Bloom, that's her name. She opens a flower shop. I mean, there is something in the chapter where her and Ryle meet, where, like, she's like, yeah, I know it's, like, ironic, but, like, I want to open a flower shop. I think her first, middle, and last name, like, all correlate to fucking flowers. It's, like, Lily Blossom Bloom, or whatever the fuck. She rents out a building, and then runs into a random-ass person, and they're like, hey, like, let me help you, like, oh my gosh, I love flowers and working, even though I don't work, because I'm rich and I have daddy's money. No diss to Alyssa, though, because I love Alyssa. This is, like, she's, like, the only good character in this book. But then again, I also do not like her character, because we'll get to that. she's like, oh yeah, I just need help like opening up the flower shop and stuff, but I don't have money for workers. And then Alyssa's like, it's okay, I can do it for free because I have nothing else to do in my life. Like some iconic lines like I'm a Pinterest whore or something, and yada yada yada. And then she gets into like a little whoopsie daisies and fucking like breaks her ankle or something. And Alyssa calls up her husband, her brother, because they were both at a bar together. And the husband and the brother come down to like help her or whatever because her brother's a doctor. Guess who the fuck is her brother? I'll give you a second to guess. It's fucking Ryle. Are you... I also just do not like how they romanticized, like, abuse in this. This is really just a book about abuse, and they made it a romance novel. The only reason why I cried reading this book was because of her mom. Lily told her mom that she was getting abused, and then I think her mom started crying or something. And then I was like, damn, this shit kind of touched my heart. Letters to Ellen DeGeneres is actually so fucking funny to me. Like, it's insane. Like, I get, like, writing letters to someone. I get that a lot. But rumors have been speculated saying that how she only, like, wrote letters to Ellen DeGeneres because, like, she was, like, accused of being homophobic. So she wrote letters to Ellen DeGeneres. Colleen Hoover, not Lily, because she's not real. Did I forget to mention Lily's dad is abusive? I think I did. Really important part in the story where Lily's dad is abusive, and then she gets into an abusive relationship with another man, Ryle, and then like forgives him like 5 times. But I understand, like, I guess it does like portray like why it's hard to leave a relationship or whatever the fuck. But like, and she released a fucking coloring book of this. The fact that coloring books are like directed towards kids, and this is a book about abuse with some minor smut in it. What are you doing, babes? What are you doing? Overall, I did like this book a little bit though, but I did not like it at all at the same time. And she fucking named her daughter Dory or whatever, like her middle name is Dory or something because of Ellen DeGeneres. I'm so done. So then we have It Starts With Us. Like I said, this book was unneeded. This was mainly just the male love interest of this book. Not Ryle. Fuck Ryle. This was mainly just like about Atlas, the hobo man she fucked. Did like Atlas in the first book. Everything better in Boston. Like, damn. He named a whole restaurant after her. He named a whole restaurant after her. It was like an inside joke with him and her, but he would be the only one that gets it. Literally just about like Atlas and his like mysterious, strange little brother and his mom. And then Ryle, I don't fucking remember, but I think Ryle's like really pissed at her because when they broke up or divorced, whatever the fuck, she got with Atlas. And then he was like, you got with that fucking homeless man that you fucked like many years ago? Yeah, bitch, I would too. Last but not least, Too Late by Colleen Hoover. Now, don't get me wrong, I actually really like this book, like a lot. I had fun annotating this. I cannot stand Asa. This man is a whole nother level of delusion that I truly believe no one will ever get to. Basically, the story starts off with Sloane, and she's in bed with her boyfriend, Asa. Asa's literally her, essentially. This story takes place in, like, college. Basically, Asa is like a drug dealer. We get our male lead. His name's Carter, but his real name's Luke, and he's like an undercover cop. Like, he's trying to like bust this fucking drug ring or whatever. And he has his undercover partner named Dalton, where his real name is Ryan. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna both use Carter and Dalton. Dalton assigned like Carter in the Spanish class. Incidentally, Sloane is in that class, and she sits right next to Sloane. And then they do like a little flirty thing, whatever, okay? Then Sloane goes home to the fucking house being a pigsty, which is normal for her, I guess. So she's doing the dishes while Asa and like his little company's outside. And while she's doing the dishes, she's listening to music. And Asa comes behind her and like starts kissing her and stuff, blah blah blah. And Sloane started getting a little freaky with him, little touchy. And then he goes, "Not right now, not in front of the company." And then she's like, "Company? What do you mean?" She turns around and guess who it is? Carter. He's in on the drug deal. But Sloane doesn't know he's undercover. So fucking Sloane is like, "Oh my god, this is so..." Because she literally flirted with him this morning, and now they're just right in front of each other. Sloane makes a comment about how like Asa was supposed to get out of the business or whatever, and recruiting more people is not getting out of the business. And Asa gets mad at her. Really, really mad. And like grabs her by her arms like really tight and like is like, "Don't fucking embarrass me." We have a tab. It's a gray one. It's the gray one. Do you see there's a lot of gray ones? Yeah. Where it's literally, I annotate it when like he says something and I literally ick the fuck out. And in Carter's point of view, he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill Asa," because he has a little crush on Sloane. Throughout the story, like it just like tells a story about how Sloane's gonna cheat on Asa with Carter, and Carter is like trying to fucking plot how on Asa's downfall. But then one crucial scene happens where the FBI raid the house. Asa gets caught, and Carter is taken to a separate room in the house and is being interrogated when he hears Sloane yelling from upstairs. So he outs himself as an undercover cop. This would be perfectly fine. Until... So long story short, turns out the FBI agents were fake. They were actors that Asa hired. And once Carter outs himself as Luke, Asa knows, and then he comes in the room. He was like, "You know, these actors are really expensive, but I knew eventually one of y'all had to out yourselves." So then he like goes on to torture Luke for like maybe like a good 30 minutes. And then he go gets Sloane. Sloane's point of view, she's literally getting by one of the actors, and she's like screaming for help, and also busts down through the door and shoots him in the head. And she's literally bawling her eyes out because her boyfriend just killed someone right in front of her. There's blood on her face. She's terrified. So Asa brings down Sloane to where Luke is. Have you know, Sloane knows that Luke is undercover at this point. So she plays dumb, and she's like, "Who is Luke? Like, why is Carter tied up? Blah, blah, blah." And Asa shoots him. And Sloane is fucking bawling. She's screaming. She's like, "Why the fuck would you do that? Blah, blah, blah." And then Asa's like, "Why the fuck are you crying?" "What do you mean, why am I crying? You just killed someone, and then you shoot the love of my life right in front of my eyes." I think I would be crying a little bit. After, like, Asa, like, pins her down to the bed and, like, holds the gun to his head and, like, starts saying shit about how when he kills himself right in front of her, she's gonna be, like, hysterical. She's gonna be losing her shit. But the neighbors heard the gunshot, so they called the cops, obviously. Before Asa shoots himself in the head or whatever, Luke isn't dead. He's not dead. I don't know how, he just isn't. He, like, reaches for a gun next to him, which I forget is how it's there, and, like, aims it at, like, Asa's wrist and shoots his wrist before he can shoot himself. And then the cops like run in and arrest him. All fine and dandy, okay? Because afterwards, Sloane like runs to him and like is like trying to like put pressure to his like wound and is like, don't leave me, blah blah blah. He doesn't die, thank God. And we think happily ever after, right? Wrong. Asa has some weird ass tactics. Because before the FBI raided the house, he pretended to have like schizophrenia. And in one of his chapters, he goes, it's so easy to fake schizophrenia. You just have to do some strange things and everyone will think you're schizophrenic. What? That says a lot about our court system. I attempt to kill a guy in cold blood and I walk free because I tattle and claim mental illness. I fucking love the USA. Hello? He also goes on the next page. Not to mention the schizophrenia shit, shower with your clothes on, check the lock a few times, and people will think you're losing your fucking mind. I had to pretend I inherited it though. Yeah, this bitch is crazy. So all that shit happens and he walks free, a free man. Which is fucked. So fucked. He gets tried for like pointing a gun at someone and trying to like steal like Sloane back from Luke. Like he literally shows up at their doorstep holding a gun to Dalton's head and threatens to kill Dalton's sister and Tilly. Tilly is just like another character in the book if he doesn't give back Sloane. And Luke, smartass, just like holds her captive and's like, yeah, I don't really care about her. I can just shoot her brains out right now. I can just get a new bitch. What? And Sloane just going along with it, I guess, because like, he doesn't get his trial until like a while. So he's on house arrest. Guess what? He fucking finesses it. He hires someone to like go spy on Sloane and Luke. Finds out she's pregnant. So Sloane tells Luke she's pregnant, but the thing is they don't know whose it is. And they're scared. And Sloane says she'll get an abortion, but Luke is like, no, it's okay. This is your baby and I want to raise it. I actually love Luke. I love Luke Carter. So he finds a way to fucking finesse his ankle bracelet. And like, he like bloats himself up with like medication or something. It's so complicated. I don't even know what he did. And he like transfers it onto his friend's foot. And he goes on a little stroll. To Sloane and Luke's house. Luke isn't home. He's at work, mind you. He breaks in and he just terrorizes her. He literally SAs her. He goes, that felt different. So Sloane goes on this little thing where she pretends she's still like in love with Asa, so Asa won't fucking kill her. And it works. Like it genuinely like works, like, cause he's that delusional. He's convinced that like Luke like brainwashed her into loving him, but like that she still loves Asa, but she's just brainwashed. That's how delusional he is. And I'm concerned. Like he actually needs to go to therapy. So while they're passing time waiting for Luke to get home, cause Asa has a plan to like murder this bitch for brainwashing his girlfriend. The amount of fucking safety precautions that Luke and Sloane have are like insane. So she has to take the trash out like every day at like noon, and then like the gardener texts Luke and's like, oh yeah, the trash was taken out. So that means she's safe. She forgot to fucking take out the trash, so after she got into the kitchen with Asa to finish making her fucking lasagna for her cookbook, and she looks at the trash and she's like, fuck, I didn't take out the trash. Next chapter. Luke is literally ranting to Dalton's like, she didn't fucking take out the trash, blah, blah, blah. Luke is fucking hysterical, and he drives home, gets in a fucking car crash, doesn't even care. He's like severely injured, but he does not care. He proceeds forward, and he walks to the house with his gun in hand, and like sneaks behind the house or whatever, and like finds the window that Asa sneaked through, and sees Sloane and Asa like being like buddy or whatever, and then Sloane makes eye contact with him for like a second, and I guess their fucking minds are like tingling or whatever, and then boom, he fucking shoots him, and then he dies. I like this book, but I also dislike it because how much fucking Asa pisses me the fuck off. Again, I'm saying I personally do not have beef with Colleen Hoover. I'm sure if I read any of her other books, they wouldn't be as, like, bad. But I don't think I'll be doing that for a long time. Until I'm really desperate. Oh, and I heard, like, in Ugly Love or something, there's, like, a chapter in there where they laugh about her son's balls. What? So with this new movie coming out soon, which is actually has been postponed till like May, I think. Looks ass. She casted the cast members much older than they are in the book. I love Blake Lively, but babe, she does not look 21. She does not look 21. I'm just saying. That's just me personally. But